to another episode of Ghosted with Criss and Paige. I am your co-host, Paige.
And I'm Criss.
Guys, today we have some very, very special guests. We have a couple of best friends who have an awesome comedy podcast. We have the Bub and Gobbz show. We have Bub, we have Gobbz, and we have Floof. Welcome.
Hello there. How are you? Fantastic. I know people can't hear me, but I'm going to say it anyways because you two can see me on your big screen. Look at that.
Oh yeah, get the hair going. Gotta get up in there.
That's the game face, baby.
That's how you wake up every morning. Damn. I feel good now.
What's up, everybody? You got Gobbz here. And Floof, go ahead and say hi.
Hi.
Anyways, we are super excited to be on your guys' show today. Can't wait to talk about some paranormal, ghostly type stuff.
Yes, I'm just like, let's just get on into it. Who would like to start with their first ever paranormal experience?
Ooh, I do. I want one.
Yes, please.
Okay, the one in the front.
So,
Yes, you with the face.
so when I was about 7 or 8 years old, like second, third grade, whatever age that is, we were living in this house and it was haunted, I guess. I mean, I don't know what else. There's no other explanation for it. But my brother and I used to fight a lot. And so my mom thought we were just fighting one day because she was at the bottom of the stairs looking up at our bedrooms. And all she could see is my brother pulling on my arm, trying to pull me out of my bedroom. But in reality, I wasn't trying to stay in my room. I was trying to get out, and there was just this weird energy, force, whatever, just not letting me get out of my room. Like it was trying to pull me back in.
Whoa.
Oh no.
Super fucking creepy. I'm sorry. Are we good if we get like foul mouth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Paige has the sailor's mouth.
I really do. It's bad.
Perfect. That was, and so like couldn't get out. And then when my mom came upstairs, it like let me go or whatever. And we went flying into the hallway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, super. Yeah, I said it was crazy. Creeped my mom out. She thought we were just messing with her. Like, no, that was.
No, that was ghostly.
Yeah, you're looking at your kids thinking, oh, these damn kids are fighting again. I gotta like go break it up. And it's like, oh no, it wasn't us.
Yeah, my brother and I we were pretty violent. Like we like to beat on each other quite a bit. So it wasn't completely unnatural for us to be wrestling like that. But then that same house, it was probably a couple months later, I went to go in the basement. And I felt, one, it was really cold, but it's a basement, so that's kind of expected. But then I could feel like there was hands around my throat.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
so
No, thank you.
immediately left the basement. Like, nope, not playing that game.
Fuck that. I'm out of here.
Never
Gone.
going back down.
Wouldn't go back down there for a long time. And then we just moved eventually. Like, we just couldn't take it anymore.
That's the way to go. Especially if you feel hands around your neck and no one's there, you gotta move. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. We gotta move somewhere.
I feel like it's way easier to explain as a kid, like, oh, yeah, the basement just tried to put me in a sleeper hold. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Oh no. Yeah, oh no. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard from our podcast. My basement is very haunted. So like, but if anyone ever touched me, I'd be out. I'd just be out.
Oh, yeah. I feel you. Yeah.
Not dealing with that. Not at all. All right. Who would like to tell their, Bubs?
I'll go.
Perfect.
I got one.
I got a couple stories, actually.
Perfect.
Which one are you going to go with? Because we're going to have the same stories.
Oh, yeah, because you guys are related, right? Your brothers?
Yeah, we're brothers.
Okay. I was like, wait, I knew this.
Let's see. Well, do you want to tell the Charlie one, and I'll tell the demolition one?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So when Floof and I were younger, our step uncle or guy who married our auntie, or you guys can call him uncle, whatever.
Our stumple.
Stunkle. Yeah. Stunkle. He brought us along because he was a general contractor. He brought us along to do some demolition at this old rickety house in some part of town in Spokane. And me as a drummer, I fucking
Hell yeah.
about destruction. Like
Let's bang on some shit.
break something. Hell yeah. The Stunkle was like, here, take this sledgehammer and start knocking shit out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm again.
Meanwhile, he's like free labor.
Yeah. So So the first thing we pulled up to this house, I just hit the microphone. Sorry. We pulled up to this house, and it's. Don't look at me that way. Sorry. I get involved. I get passionate, and
Look at those hands flying.
Exactly.
Catch these hands.
The mean gets into it. Anyway, so we pull up to this house, and immediately Floof and I look up, and we see this little boy in the window, and we're looking at the Stunkle. We're like, Stunkle, aren't we trashing this house? Like, who lives here?
Why is there a kid in this house we're beating down?
Yeah, like, shouldn't we make sure everyone's out first? And the Stunkle looks at us and is like, what kid? He's like, dude, nobody's lived here in years. Like this place is condemned. That's why we're here. Like, what? No, there's a little boy upstairs. And Floof and I are looking right at him, and he's looking at us, just...
Oh, no.
Hell no.
Nope.
No.
So, we both look to the Stunkle, and we look back, and he was right. He's not there anymore. Okay, well... Gotcha. So it just like we got chills, and we had where you feel. Have you ever had the feeling like you was being watched?
Yes.
That was
not fun.
The entire time we're smashing shit. Like every time I smashed something, I felt that judgment of this someone just looking at me like, you little bastard.
Like you're destroying my home.
Yeah, get the fuck out, you little.
This ghost kid is pissed.
Oh yeah. Shit. That was probably one of our first experiences. Now Floof has one about someone we aptly named Charlie.
Oh, love when they get named.
Yeah, well, so at one point, Bubbles and I had moved into a house, middle of Spokane. Not a bad area, so you wouldn't think there'd be anything crazy going on. But in this house, it was kind of strange. We'd be sitting in the living room watching TV, turn it off for the night, and just kind of sit and talk. And you'd see in the reflection of the TV someone moving in the hallway in the background. Mm-hmm. You'd snap your head around. No one's there.
Yeah. Oh God.
After a while, we just kind of got used to him and started giving him a name, Charlie. You'd see him in the reflection of the TV if you were out on in the backyard, like barbecuing something. You'd see like his silhouette go through past the back window. He wasn't. I mean, he was always there. It just so happened to be. I think he stayed in my bedroom was where I kind of interacted with him the most. Be laying there in bed, on my phone or playing a video game or something or whatever. And how you lay on your bed and you got like your leg propped up.
Yeah.
Needs it. I'd suddenly feel a hand shove my leg down.
Oh, hell no.
Just out of nowhere. And it happened so often, it just kind of became more of a, Charlie's here again. God, what do you want? As opposed to something terrifying. And every now and then the closet door would just open and then close. Just creepy things like that, but you got used to them.
So y'all were roommates. Oh, no.
Yeah.
He was our dead roommate. Yeah. Or like the lights to the basement, because we had a big stairwell that went down to the basement. Mm-hmm. The lights would just pop on and off. And like sometimes they would just pop on and we'd wait for a few moments. And we'd be like, Charlie, turn it off. And no bullshit. Like they turn off. And we'd be like, oh, fuck, he's really here.
Thanks, Charlie.
It was a really, really weird experience in that house. But it was just kind of like having another roommate. Every time he would yell like, Charlie, stop it. He'd end up stopping.
He'd listen. He'd be like, all right, guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was the one time he fucked with me was, I usually, when I fall asleep, sometimes I have my TV on and, I usually keep my remote. Like I'll walk into my room, I'll beep, and I'll put it on my dresser where the TV is. Well, one morning, I think Charlie just wanted to fuck with me because I woke up because my remote hit me in the forehead.
Oh,
God damn it!
You're late.
I thought it was Floof. I'm like, you little fucker. And he came up, he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Charlie, you ass.
Oh my God. What a way to wake up. Because ow.
Yeah,
Two, the fact they had enough force to be like, hey, bitch, bam. Oh, no.
Yeah, motherfucker.
So, to be fair.
Aw.
Bubbles, I don't know if that one was Charlie so much as you probably were snoring so aggressively it rattled the remote onto your own face.
I mean,
or he was snoring so aggressively Charlie got pissed.
Either way.
either way, did it.
You probably deserved it.
Yeah, definitely.
How much do you charge your ghost roommate? Because he can turn it on and off the lights.
Yeah,
He
he's
can take
contributing to electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to pull his own damn weight, right?
You gotta add to the heating bill. I mean, come on.
Come on
I don't care if you're dead or not. You can pull your own damn weight.
At least because spirits are cold during the summer if you need a little extra air conditioning. Charlie, come sit next to me, baby.
Right? Okay, come on. Just
Yeah.
it's warm in here.
Let's get a little closer.
Oh my God.
That's what see, when it's in my own house, I'm like, okay, whatever. And I hear everyone else's stories. We go on investigations, and I'm like, oh my God, I would die. Like, so scary.
Yeah.
Ooh, is this a stout?
So I got a good one.
Ooh.
It's the only time I've seen, like, I don't even know if you could call it a full, like, apparition or whatever.
Are you talking about the Arizona one?
Oh, I forgot about that one. No, I was talking about Iraq.
Oh.
I'm excited.
So if you guys don't follow the show and you don't know, I'm in the Army, deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh,
But when I was
yeah.
in Iraq,
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you.
thank you for your support. It's always appreciated. But we're on just playing with the cameras, and the cameras there that we had just on our little base or compound have thermal imaging. And so we love to play with them and just sit around circles and look at stuff. And it's really there so that when it's nighttime, we could see if anybody's coming up to the wall or whatever, so we could communicate with the towers and all that fun stuff. We were looking and we saw somebody walking towards the wall. And so we got on the radio and talked to the guy that was in the closest tower. We're like, hey, check and see what that guy wants, or, tell him to back away or whatever. And he's like, what are you guys talking about? We're like, dude, there's a person like 10 feet in front of you. He's like, no, there's nothing there, man.
Do
Like,
you
he has
not
a big
see this
spotlight
decrease
looking
in
at it.
temperature?
Yeah, we just see a human-shaped figure like in a different temperature. Like it's a little brighter.
That's
So,
fucking crazy.
like, you sure there's nothing there, man? Like, we can clearly see it. He's like, no.
I need someone to get eyes on this somewhere right now.
Yeah, and then we turn the thermal off and go to just the regular camera, and there really was nothing there. So we're like, well, shit.
Wow.
That's fucking creepy.
That
my
is
God.
fucking creepy. And I'm assuming that's on Night Watch too, right? It wasn't just...
Yeah, it was at night. It was like
One of my really close friends is a ranger in the Army.
awesome.
Yeah. Oh, man. But that's so just unbelievable. Like,
You're clearly seeing it live on a thermal, and
Yeah.
the guy's like, there's
Yes.
nobody there.
There's nothing there. Like, I'm looking at it. No, you're really not. Like,
You're
okay.
really not. You don't see shit. You're like,
There's no way this is a human glitch. Like,
I
come
have
on.
been up too long, I
Doesn't
guess.
happen.
Only other explanation, right?
Yeah, I think I need more coffee, guys. But that incident spurred our curiosity, so then we started ghost hunting on like a weekly basis.
I could
that's so- yeah,
imagine.
that'd
It
be-
was- once you see that, like, well, what else do we got out here?
Yeah, and the area we were in was fairly safe, and there wasn't a whole lot going on, so we would just get our cameras out and we'd wander around and try to catch things on camera. Maybe a few orbs, nothing like super crazy on camera at least. So, but it was still
That's
exciting.
cool. Even just finding orbs. I love finding orbs.
Caught orbs at the the Museum of Natural History in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
On my, I think it was 11th birthday. I have a whole photo album of this, and I didn't really realize what they were until like a few years ago. But like all throughout the exhibits of like where people were living and stuff, there were all these orbs like either covering my face or in frame, and I was just like, what? And it was on like one of those disposable, just point and shoot, and then you get them developed cameras. So I was just like, what is... I've never seen this before.
They wanted to join in on the fun.
I mean, I was thinking they were just kind of stuck there because they're bones and stuff.
I mean, that too. I'm just thinking if they're covering your face in a photo, it's like, let me just photobomb real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow. Everyone having stories is not a usual occurrence.
really?
Yeah, sometimes I think we've had people come on.
Yeah, we've had a few, where we've all discussed like submitted stories. Which is also very fun. I love when we can get people who are skeptical, but I obviously love when people have their own experiences, be like, yeah, this happened, and like, what? Like, how do I explain this on a normal basis to people?
I can totally yeah, I feel that. It's really hard to try to explain it to certain people without them looking at you and going,
You said what now?
You need mental health. I'm calling the men in white coats right now.
Where is the butterfly net?
They're coming to take me away.
but I mean, like once you're, at least in my experience, like it's almost like shattering that glass ceiling. Once you're exposed to that shit for the first time, like you notice it more and more and you see more. And yeah, it's crazy. It's not crazy as in like any white coats, but it's just it's gnarly, the shit that's out there and that people experience. Like Floof and I, our dad, he's a custodian at a middle school, and he tells us all the time, like on the security cameras overnight, because he used to work the night shift. He would work from what was it, like fucking 2:30 to 10:30?
Yep.
And he's by himself all night and it's dark, and he would hear and see shit, and on the security cameras there's orbs all the time that he catches, and he's just like, what the fuck? And I mean, once you're exposed, you see it. Another story from me.
Yes,
I'll leave the Arizona one for Gobbz to tell, because that was a really good one.
No, you gotta tell that one, man.
I'll get to
it. We will duet that one.
Okay, we'll duet that one. Okay, I'm gonna start off with my experience. So, a long time ago, I decided to date someone with a not strange, but a more exotic profession.
Oh.
Okay.
She was a stripper. Don't let him.
Yeah, I married a stripper a long time ago, and
Radical.
but her on the side, she was really into the paranormal and more of like the Wiccan kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was some shit that I experienced that a lot of people are like, no, you're just making that shit up, or like, what were you drinking? I'm like, I wasn't drinking. I wish I were. But so I remember very, very vividly, there were a few times that because it's back when I was in the military and I was over in North Carolina, she was up here in Washington, and we'd be Zoom chatting like this, or back in the day it was like Yahoo or whatever the fuck.
Whatever the protocol was at the time.
Vuvu, Skype, all those things.
So, yeah, it was one of those. But anyways, so we were talking, and she said, God, it just got really, really cold in here, and like I feel like I'm not alone in a sense. And I was like, really? And then she steps out of the camera's range to go put on a sweater, and then in like just slow, like nonchalant, walks this little girl, and I'm like, hello, you are not her daughter. I wonder if she has a friend over. And I'm like, hi, how are you? And she's in the back like, who the fuck are you talking to? And then she just kind of walks up. And so the wife comes back. I'm like, does little one have a friend over? She's like, the kids are at their dad's this weekend. I'm like,
Oh no.
they're at the house with you. She's like, oh, for fuck's sake, that's what I'm feeling. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, stop fucking with me. She's like, no, seriously, I'm by myself. Other than the dog, it's just me. And I'm like, oh, well, there's that little girl who's probably dead, but she's there. Yeah. So just be on the lookout.
I have full chills from that.
It's her bedtime. Just let it. Just tell it's bedtime. Bedtime.
Yeah. So a couple weeks later, we were doing another Skype call, and she decided she wanted to do some research, because my barracks were right next to the graveyard or the cemetery.
okay.
Ooh, okay.
So it was always creepy, like full moons and shit. Like I was always creeped the fuck out.
Oh, I bet.
Especially hearing stuff from her. I was like, oh man, don't tell me I'm not gonna sleep for days. So one night she was digging into an unsolved, like a cold case kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And so it had to do with the father who lost his daughter. Like his daughter was kidnapped or something like that, and he died trying to look for her.
Oh, that's
devastating.
In the local area. And she didn't tell me his name, and I don't remember like how it led up to this, but we were kind of talking, and all of a sudden it got really, really cold in my room. And I'm like, oh God, like to where you can see your breath.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, and it's middle of summer in North Carolina. I don't know if you've ever been to that area, but it's humid and hot as fuck over there.
It is.
So I'm like, okay, I'm creeped the fuck out. And so all of a sudden I had this weird inkling that, okay, I have to search for this name. I don't know where this name came from, but I typed in this random fucking name and I just kept typing and searching. And I don't know what came over me. I'm like, what? Why am I doing this? But my hands just kept moving and my eyes just kept scrolling. And the wife is watching me do it. She's like, what the fuck are you doing, Bubbles? I'm like, I don't know.
Can't control this.
So then, I see her like looking, and then she's typing in the messages because she was trying to talk on the monitor, but my finger went over and hit the mute button. And I was like, I don't mean to do this. What the fuck is going on? I want to hear her. But then she's messaging and throwing out messages.
Yeah.
And she says, David, stop. And then all of a sudden my finger stopped. My name is not David.
David.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? And well, then right as my finger stopped, I pull up the story. The man's name is David and his daughter's name was Rose. And unfortunately, they had both perished. It wasn't a kidnapping. He didn't know where she was because they both went off a cliff. It was like a car accident. They went off a cliff and like she was swept, like it was into a river. She was swept away. He died in the car.
Shit.
So he never knew what actually happened to her. And like the moment he read the story and the moment I kind of gained a little bit of more consciousness, if you will, I was finally like, all right, dude, you gotta fucking leave. Like, get the fuck out. And then I felt this like big rush, like, and then it got really warm. My door slammed. And yeah, that was the last I heard of that shit. But
that was just a fucking roller coaster right there.
Moments. Yeah. So, but I was involved in some fun shit. I have a couple other stories, but I'm gonna let the other guys, tell their.
My mind is like blown right now. That's so, like he literally took over your body so you could just find out what happened. That's so, wow.
Which
OG had some good ones. I told you.
I mean, and it was okay. So could just be my like personal thing too, but like it was the one and only day that I didn't wear I have a St. Christopher around my neck, and it's a patron saint of travel. But Gobbz has one too.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so like for me, I see it as it's my one. I'm not very religious at all, but it's my one source of like solace. Like it makes me feel protected and confident.
Yeah,
and it was the one day I took it off is when it happened.
Oh no, everything happens for a reason. That was definitely.
I have one of those pendants.
You do. I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Christopher has.
You better put it on.
Yeah. Now that I'm hearing about this. Oh God.
Holy moly.
So
I got mine when I went to basic training. Bubbles' family actually, that was like their adopted stepson that they didn't meet. But they gave it to me when I went to basic, and I was like, I haven't taken it off since. So
that's awesome.
Oh, that's so nice.
Unless I go swimming because I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
facts.
that.
I get that.
Oh,
It just
wow.
looks weird without the shirt on. And I don't know. It does not.
for so long, and then you go shirtless, and you're like, where the fuck? What?
Yeah, it just looks awful.
I've got circle splotches now. Yeah.
But now I feel complete. But for all those in internet land who didn't see what just happened, I kind of basically
don't explain it.
I
Don't.
Fabio'd the shit out of myself.
Siobhan.
There were nipples everywhere. It was totally.
All I was missing was the wind.
Oh yeah, a good like Beyonce moment, like the hair back.
A good
Can you handle
Spokane
it?
breeze.
Can you
If
handle it?
Beyonce was a werewolf, yes.
Who says she isn't?
Bum,
I'm just
bum,
saying
bum.
she's not as hairy as you. That's all.
Oh yeah.
No
As
one
far
is.
as we know.
As far as we know.
Whoa! I'm not gonna fight that.
Let's put it, your chest is hairier than Robin Williams' forearms were.
That's saying something. That's. Oof.
At least I'm warm in the winter.
I was gonna say, at least you have a built-in sweater.
Yeah.
That's why the ghosts like him. They're just cold.
Yeah. They're dead. They're cold. I get it now.
Oh
It
yeah.
all connects.
I miss having body hair. That the one thing a ghost misses having. Oh, I miss my back hair.
I hate it when I was alive, but now that I'm dead,
Now that I'm dead. Holy fuck, do I miss it?
I've been taking these things for granted for too long.
Oh goodness.
Let that be a lesson,
the
people.
conversation.
Oh my goodness. Well, I guess.
One of you mentioned Arizona.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So I was before I was here in Miami. I was stationed in it's called Fort Huachuca, Arizona,
Fort Huachuca.
and it's super
Middle of
old,
nowhere.
old fort way back in the day. It's actually like one of the. It's back from like Tombstone area, like when Tombstone was a thing. Like that's kind of when it became a town or a fort, I guess.
Huh.
So there's a lot of crazy ghostly things that happen in the area. Just, I mean, you have Tombstone, you got so many ghosts and stuff from there. It's only like 30 minutes away.
Like
And then
when you hear the term Indian burial ground, like
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's some native land. That's
That is some
Yeah.
native land. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on just that general area that's just super creepy, super historical, lots of death.
Arizona's got a
war.
lot of funky energy.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's one of those naturally spooky places like Missouri. It's just got so much history and so many
Missouri.
different things going on there, and they all just kind of come to a nexus right there.
I'm
Yeah,
not
there's
even
a-
gonna fight that. Yeah, I agree.
A few old mining towns right in the area too.
Ooh.
So that whole like area was just like a hub for civilization when everybody was trying to move west.
Yeah, coal industry. Everyone was doing the Manifest Destiny style.
Yeah, coal, and there was a silver mine there, all kinds of stuff. But because of that, obviously, bad things happen in the old west. Gunfight,
Yeah,
OK
that-
Corral, like all kinds of stuff.
That
Minding
energy
towns.
seeps into the ground. Like that energy is stored there. Oh yeah,
Every
love
few
it.
days, you either had a miner go from black lung, or you had, one of those
Collapses
shafts
or
collapsing,
stealing
or
and-
poisoned.
Yeah,
Pick your
all
poison,
kinds.
really, on this one.
And then Bubbles came to visit him and his girlfriend, and we decided let's play some drinking games. So we played some drinking Uno, which is a great game.
Ooh, fun.
Which our version, because I mean Uno is fun as it is, but when we make our drinking version, we call it Un, like the French version. So when I get, hey guys, you guys want to play some Un? We know. Let's do this.
So it's a really cool game. It's nothing like actual Uno, but anyways,
More like asshole with
that's not what we're
cards.
here for. Yes. So we got pretty intoxicated and decided to go for a walk, which is not the best idea, but we did it anyways. Yes. And then Bubbles.
Well, that's when he and I started talking about, because up until then, like, we've told each other ghost stories, but we never really told each other like the serious ones, out of not the fear, because we're best bros, we tell each other everything, but these are the stories that I was like, holy fuck, I didn't know about. And we're like, okay, have you experienced this before? Have you done this? Have you felt this? We're like, yeah, bro, yeah.
Yep.
And so as we're walking, we're both getting chills because we know we're in a very
Hot spot.
gnarly and hot
spot.
spot for the dead,
Hot zone.
Yeah, that energy just encases you. It's just like, oh,
yeah.
crap.
And then you go on just about any military post, at least in my opinion, and you're gonna get that feeling at some point. Like just because, like how many troops, men and women from God knows how long ago since our country formed,
Yeah.
have served and died, and
Well, especially so like Fort Huachuca, like that one was huge when they're fighting the Native Americans and then fighting the Mexican American War.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So like that base alone has been attacked several times.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of blood in that
Yeah.
soil.
So we go while we're going on our walk, we both get that really chill feeling to where all the hairs on your neck, and for me it's a lot of hair, yes I know, but all the hairs on your neck standing on end, and for me all my fucking chest hair and back hair going like I'm looking like Sonic the Hedgehog, like fucking spiked up, I'm like, ugh, something is here, and he's like, bro, I feel it too. And, we went to, what was it, like a playground or something like that?
Yeah, it's like an abandoned playground.
Oh,
that's
and
even
playground.
worse.
no.
Yeah.
And we're kind of exploring, like taking it like kind of almost like Shaggy and Scooby style, like
I
should we
know
really
about
do
this,
this?
Scoob.
Like zoinks, you know, like it was. And
He's clearly Scooby. I'm just saying.
Anyway, so, kind of walk in, and then Gobbz is like, Bubbles. He's like, don't fucking move, but is there someone behind me? And I shit you not, it could have been my inebriation. I doubt it. Maybe.
I
But
think
like,
we were fairly sober at that point.
yeah, we kind of sobered the fuck up really quick. Like
Yeah.
when you Sonic the Hedgehog out, the booze is like, okay, bye. So
later.
see ya. You don't need me anymore. So
Could have used some more. I'm not gonna lie.
I think we drank a lot more after this, but he's like, dude, like, is there something around me? And no bullshit. Like, I'm looking, you know, kind of like the corner of my eye, like as I'm looking to you right now, literally. And there's this silhouette. I couldn't even make it out with his hand right on Gobbz' shoulder.
Oh,
Just chilling. I'm like, bro, don't move. Oh my God. I don't see anything. There's nothing here. Nobody's bothering us. Bro, start running. Like, yeah. And then something else happened, right?
Yeah, I'm a little fuzzy from that whole.
Now, that one was just terrible because we both came back to his place. And my girlfriend and his wife were just looking at us like, what the fuck happened to you two? We're like,
You're not gonna believe it.
you're not going to believe it.
You guys look
They're
like you just
"Yeah,
saw
you're
a ghost."
We won't.
Yeah. So I mean, I gave the little prelude in the beginning of the hands on the neck and the pulling me out of the room thing or into the room thing, but that instance in Arizona was the first time that I was like actually afraid. Like I was like that thing had some ill intent. I don't know what it was, but it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, that
That's
thing
terrible.
did not. It was not happy we were there. I was like, oh fuck!
It
And, like
was.
you can tell too sometimes, like when they have that malice or that ill intent, like you can feel it because you just have this overwhelming feeling of just fear, and not just fear, but I'm like, depending on how bad it can be, like. I've had instances where you can tell something is around and you feel nothing but just the first thing that comes to your mind is just terror.
yeah.
Like, oh my fuck. Like, you try to be brave, you try to be like all those badasses on TV, but you're sitting there like, holy fuck! You know, like, you just want to cry.
Yeah.
You don't know why. Like,
yeah.
any other time, in like when you're completely awake in the middle of the day, you're like, oh god, that's scary, but like, fuck off, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes when you have these experiences, like even the bravest men, I promise you will turn into cowards for about 10 seconds. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when like it's not something tangible that you can be like, I'm gonna beat you up, like I'm gonna do something to get myself out of the situation. It's like, fuck, I can't do anything in this situation. That's the worst part. There's a quote, it's like, you're not afraid of the dark, you're not afraid of being like alone in the woods, it's that you're afraid that you're not alone.
In the woods.
yes.
Yeah, so it's like that's the whole, no, I hate it. I just got the chills. I just
damn
like
it.
totally wigged out.
I know, my hairs are starting to stand. I'm like, I'm getting the feeling again. Fuck.
One of our past guests
One of
was
our
like,
past ghosts.
had said the scariest thing about ghosts was not the fact that he, couldn't see them or anything, but the fact that a punch would not connect,
Yeah.
even if thrown.
Yeah.
Like that's all. Like that's all you want to do is like you want to tell him to fuck off. Like, get your baseball bat or some or knife or gun or I mean you don't want to shoot anything in the house. That's horrible.
Yeah.
But I mean like you want to defend yourself, but you can't.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh, what do I do? Like, get the holy water. I don't even know at this point.
The power of Christ compels you.
Just start throwing
Oh,
crucifixes, whatever we got.
And what's
I got
worse?
drumsticks in here. I'll make a crucifix.
What's worse is that Bill Murray's just too old to help.
Oh, man. Our
what's he gonna
one
do?
person.
He's gonna
He's
break.
gonna
a hip.
call someone else.
Someone else.
Ghostbusters.
The
Gonna call my
geriatric.
mom and say goodbye. I don't know at this point.
How do they catch all the ghosts? Well, because they are ghosts.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all ready for another creepy one?
Oh my god, please, let's go.
So it's kind of a caveat to the the military bases and and the experience is that way. It's another one of my stories with my stripper ex-girlfriend or stripper ex-wife. She used to work on, when she wasn't dancing, she used to work on base. She would flip houses,
Ooh.
like officers and stuff. And when she didn't do that, she would clean office buildings and paint and shit like that. And there was one night where we're on a call like this, and she's by herself, even though I told her not to. She's by herself in the middle of the night, and she was painting this room. And she was like, I am creeped the fuck out. And like, I have got to get out of here. Like, it just doesn't feel right. It was a full moon out. She's like, I got this really bad vibe. I was like, well, how close are you being done? And she's like, I'm pretty much done. And then you could hear something kind of in the background, like a I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, I gotta go. And so she's got her phone and she's hurrying. And she's like, she's getting more terrified. She's getting scared. Doors are slamming, and you're hearing that louder. And she's going, what the fuck? I don't know what's going on. And so she gets to the cleaning or the janitor's room where she's gonna start cleaning off where she had to clean off her paintbrushes. And she's like, I gotta get this done quick. So she's like scrambling. She's like really, really fast. And then all of a sudden she stops and she closes her eyes. And she has very, very, very green eyes.
They're like a light green too.
Yeah, a light green. They're very.
They look like she's wearing contacts. It's creepy.
Oh,
they
wow.
really do. It's kind of creepy. Well, they turned colors, and they were more of like a gobby dark blue kind of thing.
Oh.
So, and I didn't notice it right away, but she kind of looks up. She looks at the camera, and she just starts like slowly, like just like nothing's wrong, nonchalant. I'm like, are you okay? What's going on? She's like, you gotta clean my brush. So dirty. So dirty. And I'm like, you were just terrified like 10 seconds ago. Are you sure you're okay? She's looking down. Cleaning my brush. So dirty. So dirty.
Oh,
And I'm like,
sweet baby Jesus.
you're not really sounding like my wife right now. Like, you know, I'm sounding a bit more concerned, mind you. I'm like, you don't sound like my wife right now. Like, what the fuck is going on? And she looks up. Shit you not. Right. And her eyes are a different color, and she just goes, I am your wife.
Nope.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know what the fuck you are, but get out of my wife. Although that's probably like, I would prefer to say that to a ghost.
Yeah.
You know, like, get out of my wife. Anyways, we're gonna dirty.
I mean, she was a stripper, so you never know.
I know that's right. So she continues, you know, doing the brush thing, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, like, leave her alone. I don't know what you are, who you are. And so she blinks again, and she kind of shakes her head, and her eyes go back to her green color. And I'm like, what happened? Like, are you okay? She's like, how did I get in here? I'm like,
Oh.
you not remember
The brush is so dirty.
brush
So
is
dirty.
She's like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, well, you said this and this and this. She said a couple of other creepy things that I don't want to fucking remember. Like, she even said a name. Like, the name was like Horace or Oris or something like that. And I was like, you don't remember saying that name? She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she starts just bawling, just ah. And I was like, put the brush down. Like, fuck cleaning the brush. Just throw it away. Go home. And she's like, ah. And so
Fuck the brushes. Fuck the house.
I'm like, fuck it all. Just get the hell out of there. And so she goes home, and she's just terrified for the next week. Just fucking bawling every time I talk to her. So just the eye color and the complete change of demeanor, and just the looking at me like, I am your wife. I'm like, first of all, you've never looked at me that seductively. For God's sake, I know something's wrong.
Oh, at the fact that the eye color changed, like, what? Like, what? No, thank you. Yeah. That's, oh my God.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put that in the ground. That's not a good one.
Nope, no, thank you.
No.
I vote
Needs
no.
a stake to the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Take that holy
Wow.
water, stake to the heart. Like, sorry.
Oh God!
Oh, God.
A poor microphone.
Told
This
you
is
I
your
get
third
passionate.
microphone, Bubble. Third microphone. Let's behave.
Sorry. Oh, dude, I think I dented this thing too. Fuck.
Fuck.
You needed a new one anyways.
Yeah, no, fuck this thing.
There you go. Everything happens for a reason again.
You go through microphones like you go through drum heads.
Yeah,
How many Kevlar drum heads have you busted through at this point?
12.
That's a lot.
Oh crap!
Oh my god, that's so much money. Just even thinking about that.
Wow, this episode, holy moly!
It's a friggin' roller coaster of
What we're
horror.
here for.
Oh, I was. If you guys could see me right now, like I'm visibly shooketh. Like I'm holding my head. I am just like, what just happened? That is so cool. Oh my gosh. Do you any last stories to throw in? Because we were already hitting an hour mark, guys. This has been a great one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, holy
Dang.
fuck.
This is great. I see. This is the best. You just roll through, having a good time.
Yeah.
Time flies when
that's
you're
our
having
style.
fun.
It really is.
Oh my
We just kind
goodness.
of roll with the fucking punches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we do here. That's our job,
That's all you can do.
right?
Yeah.
Just go with the flow.
Gosh. I mean,
I
there's
don't know that I have anymore.
so okay. I can tell one more. I can tell one
Oh,
more.
yes.
Well, Floof has something to do with this too. So
I do?
let's go back to our friend Charlie, right? It's actually in that house down the street. Our auntie and our skunkle, Stunkle. That's what we call them, Stunkle.
Yes, Dunkel.
They have they've had actual like Ghostbuster-ish people and like ghost hunters and priests. They've had these people to their house, basically telling to every single one of them saying that their house has a hellgate in it, like just a straight up fucking hellgate.
Well, fuck.
And
A priest being like, "Yeah, your house is foobar, man.
yeah,
Christ
like,
wouldn't touch that with his fucking 10-foot
they're like,
pole."
nah, I'm out. Peace. So that's one reason why we're like, okay, that's probably why Charlie's around. Thank God he's nice.
Yeah, for real.
But our auntie and Stunkle have a not so nice guy in their house who has been fucking with them for like a decade, right?
Holy
It's
shit!
been more than that.
Yeah.
Now that I'm remembering it, this is from a lot of this stuff that you're probably going to talk about is from when we were young.
Yeah. Like we were little.
It's been 15 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, at first they so they have two girls, our two cousins, and they would mention seeing like a pair of beady eyes in the middle of the night, like yellow eyes,
Ugh.
when they would wake up, like, what the fuck? And then sometimes they would feel like someone kind of caressing their leg or like rubbing their leg.
Ugh. Oh no.
And
Dirty old ghost.
he's a creep. And you know, people who would visit, and he would only do this to women. If there were dudes in the room or anywhere, he wouldn't.
Oh, so truly a
mess with
pervy
that.
ghost. Okay.
Yeah. And so at one point, he would be pervy, but at the same time, he would really fuck with them too. And one of our cousins, turns out, was not in her best state of mind. She was fighting depression hardcore. And almost, apparently, our auntie found a note, you know, a certain kind of note.
Yeah.
We pray to God that no one ever writes, but unfortunately people do.
Yeah.
So our cousin had wrote a letter, but she didn't go through with it. Our family stopped her, thank God.
Thank God.
But that night, what was it? Our auntie heard the piano playing. And, she heard the piano playing, and she came out, and I can't remember if she said if it was like actually happened or if it was a dream, but she heard the piano playing, and she walked out to the living room where the piano was, and she saw this motherfucker, and he wears like a striped, kind of like a sailor-ish kind of shirt, and he stopped the piano, and he looks over with this beady motherfucking eyes and just smiles at her and says, "I almost got her."
Oh, fuck that ghost.
Yeah.
Yo, fuck that.
So there were other times where this motherfucker, he would just mess with our family, to where these paranormal experts would show up, and he usually hung out in this one room, right? And it used to be one of my cousin's rooms, but they moved her out because that's where he liked to hang out.
Unfortunately, we don't want you in the Hellgate
one time.
room.
What's that?
We don't want you in the Hellgate room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Floof and I were in there one time because they had a computer in there, and we were kids, and that's when like AOL chat rooms were the thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, computer room time.
Shit like that. And so we were chatting, and then our cousin comes in. She's like, "Get off my computer, you little fuckers!" And we're like, "Oh, whatever." And so it goes to a screensaver. Excuse me. And there's like how the banners would like go across, slowly. Well, do you remember what it said, Floof?
Not off the top of my head, no.
It said something creepy like, your cousins are mine or your family is mine or something like that.
Oh hell no!
Yeah. It was him talking shit, and we're like, what the fuck? And like, first I thought I was crazy, but Floof saw it too, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not crazy. And then our cousin saw it, and she rebooted the computer, and it never happened again. But there was one time where those paranormal experts came in, and they set up a camera in that room, and they actually turned it into one of the playrooms for one of my cousin's kids. Later on they had kids.
Oh
of their own.
God, yeah.
They had a rocking horse in there.
Oh
right?
God! Oh no!
And the camera was focused and the rocking horse was like in the center of the picture. And they were trying to talk to him, like, "Hey, is there someone here? What do you want?" And they didn't say that they heard actual words, but they saw that, it's like a wooden rocking horse, right?
Yeah.
Saw that motherfucker start opening and closing its mouth like it's trying to talk.
No. Nope. Time to burn everything down.
Time to burn the rocking horse.
to go.
Time to burn the house.
Now,
I can burn this place down.
funny ending to this thing, because first of all, once again, he doesn't fuck with dudes. So unless they're kids, then he's a fucking weirdo. But
Now he's got two problems.
Yeah, right. So the one woman he will not fuck with is our grandma.
Ooh, never mess with grandma. Grandma knows.
I mean, your grandma's a badass, so.
She is. Because, he tried once. The one time, because they turned it into a guest room and our grandparents stayed over, and, the beady eyes, and she felt like she felt something, and she felt someone touch her leg. And she told me this, and I laughed my ass off. And she woke up and looked at it and goes, "Oh, for Christ's sake, leave me alone!" Right back to bed. Never fucked with her after that.
It's like, I can't fuck with grandma. She's not gonna take any of my shit.
She crazy. I'm done. Peace.
She's gonna jump at me and
It's like my little grandma. My little grandma, no one messes with little grandma. I've seen her. She is, I think, under 5 foot at this point. At her 90th birthday, one of my cousin's friends came over, and he didn't say happy birthday to her. Just came in and started drinking, and he's like a 6 foot Marine, and she's like, "Come down here," and he's like, "Hi, Graham," and she smacked him across the face, left a handprint on his freaking face. Like, no one mess with grandma. All 4 foot something of her. You don't mess with this lady. Nope. You don't mess with grandmas.
damn.
Yep, that's our grandma.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it.
So as Bubbles was telling this story, I had a bit of a epiphany.
Oh, okay.
So it's about that house where that bastard ghost tried to choke me out.
Yeah.
There was a few other instances there that I wasn't directly involved in, but I remember my mom telling me about it. So one is that same room that they were trying to pull me into. There's a time my dog was just barking at the door, and my mom was like, "Oh, the kids are in there messing around, of course, being little assholes that we were." And so she was like, "You went to go yell at the dog and yell at us." And when she got up there was nobody in there, nothing in there. It was just an empty room, and the dog was just freaking out,
Freaking out at nothing?
They know.
yeah, like that fucking. It's the bark that there's somebody in this house and I'm gonna kill it bark. Like it was that.
Yeah,
bark.
it's like alerted. It's like, I'm not fucking with this thing. You got to get it out.
Yeah, and so that was one instance, and then this other time, it's kind of humorous. So it was around Christmas time, and my brother and I like to play a game where we try to sneak into the living room where the Christmas tree was and look at our presents to guess what they were, like the night before Christmas, like Christmas Eve.
Ooh, yeah.
And so we go downstairs, and we're trying to get into the living room to see if Santa came, look at the presents, and we see a big flash of light. and then it just got really dark, right? So super bright and then super dark really quick. And so we assumed, being kids, that it was Santa Claus.
Santa just crash landed.
Yeah, we're like, oh, Santa was in our house. We almost caught him and he escaped. Like, that was our assumption.
Yeah.
He
But the
fell off
epiphany-
the roof.
Tim
God
Allen.
damn it,
no.
Tim Allen. The epiphany that I just had is I don't think it was Santa Claus anymore. Like, I just had like this memory. I was like, holy fuck.
Wait
That
a
house was
second.
clearly haunted. There's a good chance that was definitely
Holy
paranormal.
shit. We just jogged a memory.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Oh my, the ghost had enough. It tried to choke you, but it didn't want to ruin Christmas. It was like, go back to bed.
Yeah. I still think there was multiple ghosts in that house just because of the way
The way everything played out. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's in different areas of the house. Like, our bedrooms were on the top floor where the weird pulling us in thing happened. Because I don't know if that was like an aggressive act or if that was them trying to keep us out of the basement. Because the basement is where like the really bad shit happened.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's like the upstairs
Just
ones are
trying
like.
to protect
Oh,
us.
that's even worse. Yeah, don't go down there. You don't want to go down there.
Stay up here, I promise.
You know what's funny? Between all of your stories, a lot of made like notes of a lot of parallels to a past guest we had, Kate, to a lot of stuff like with possession and almost doppelganger. Except for things took over you guys or stopped you guys from something. It's really. I wish I could like make a connect. Like the stories run so close, but they just don't touch because I need a connection. But this whole time I've been thinking about stuff she said. Like she had she lives in a Victorian house. It was built in like the 1830s in New York, and they renovated it. It used to be split into two houses, and then her family put it back to one. There's something really evil, but there's also, I think a medium told them a guy, a girl, and also kids, along with this grumpy old mean spirit. And she walked in one day, her phone was open to a chat message and something was typed out that she didn't type out. Like it was just, she left her phone open on the counter doing stuff in the kitchen, and then she came back to a message being on it. And I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but so when you were saying about like the message on the computer, and then with you having the experiences, like it's like something trying to keep you out, like something maybe good here, but also something evil is there too. Like,
Right.
The first thing that came in my mind, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, yeah.
So scary.
Holy
I mean, opposites
shit.
attract, so maybe like the polar, I don't know, the positive, negative energies of the spirits are like attract to each other, trying to battle
Yeah,
it out in the
maybe.
netherworld.
So, yeah, something.
Or especially if there's like a portal, you don't know who's coming in and out. You never know.
That's true.
Yeah, especially Hellgate.
Yeah. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Guys, this has been an amazing episode.
My mind is blown.
I'm so glad you guys came on. We got to hear all your experiences. We started this over a year ago now? Almost a year ago.
Almost a year, because we started in March.
Yeah, and getting to hear everyone, like, so many different stories. That's always been my favorite part about, like if there's, like, a paranormal podcast or even true crime, anything like that, I like to hear people's personal experiences. Makes you feel a little more not crazy, especially when you have them yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It brings you together in a weird way. In a little spooky way.
A bit spooky, and you know,
all right.
it's all right because we're not alone, and there are things that go
obviously
bump
we're
in the
not
night.
alone.
But it's not. You're not alone. Not everyone needs to call the bloody arseholes in the white coats, bastards.
I'm started.
Sorry. When you get me started,
hey.
it's like something takes over.
Can never stop.
Might tea.
Out of coffee too.
Oh my goodness. Would you guys like to promote anything?
Got anything to
yeah, like your
plug?
shows and anything
Please.
and everything, please.
We'll plug so fucking hard. Like,
Just
Plug
plug
it
Yes.
all.
yeah.
You want to start the plug there, Bubbles, and I'll finish it?
Oh, let's see. How do I usually start the plug? What up, people? How are you? Fantastic. We are the Bub and Gobbz Show. Are you sick of hearing the same thing on the internet and podcast land time and time again? Well, guess what? We're going to add to it. The Bub and Gobbz Show.
You can find us all over the social media world. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Bub and Gobbz Show. That's BUBANDGOBBZ Show.
You love how he did that? It's so fucking fluent.
That was,
when he-
that flow was
What the
perfect.
fuck?
I'm telling you.
We got to take notes.
I'm lucky if I say, welcome to Ghost of Criss and Paige, I'm your co-host Paige. Half the time I almost say Criss.
Yeah, it's always weird when the episode starts out when she's Criss and I'm Paige. It's really just
It
all a
happens more
mess.
times than I like to admit.
So you guys can also check us out on theroguerooster.com because we are the Bub and Gobbz Show presented by Rogue Rooster Media Group, LLC.
Gotta have a little
Yeah,
jingle
snaps.
right there after that. If we get like a little bell. Ting.
Oh yeah. Have you guys heard our theme song?
You
Yes.
friggin' bet we have.
Yes!
Oh yeah. What'd you think?
I fucking love it.
You guys are awesome. I've literally, when I drive to work every morning, I throw on podcasts. So you guys are in my mix now. So it's been great.
Nice.
So I'm so
Yeah, we
glad.
just started the podcast in November. We haven't
Oh,
got
yeah?
a whole lot of episodes out. Yeah, we started the YouTube channel back in July. I want to say.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Everyone, please make sure to go and follow them. You do
Please.
not want to miss out. I am telling you, you guys are fun. You keep the beat going. I am entertained the whole time.
Endlessly entertained.
Especially, I have a half-hour drive to work, a half-hour drive home. If I'm driving down to Criss, that's an hour drive. So, like, you guys keep it going.
We try. We do lots of drugs. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say you do. Where the fuck you been? What the fuck?
When did this start? Oh my goodness. Well, if anyone listening, if you want to be a part of the show like they were today, you have your own stories, you can hit us up on all the socials. You can, oh God, what are our socials? Ghosted WCP on Instagram, GWCP_podcast on Twitter, and you can email us at ghostedwithchrissandpaige@gmail.com. I promise I will answer. I will get there. Oh, but on that note, again, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Please come back anytime. You're always welcome. Y'all are part of the Ghosted family. And
Thank you for
yeah,
having us.
of course, stay spooky, my friends.